Good morning, everyone. I am going to be reading you the story of Clark the Shark today. I am hoping that you will enjoy it as much as I do. It's written by Bruce Hale, and it's illustrated, so the person that draws all the pictures is Guy Francis. Just by looking at Clark right now, I can see that he is a big shark. I wonder what he'll look like with all of his other friends. So here we have Clark the Shark. He's got a lot of books right now, and he has some pencils and an apple. So he's pretty much ready for school. Let's see what happens. All right, so he's on the school bus. On the school bus, that bus looks a little bit different than the buses that we ride normally. This one is like a submarine. That would be pretty cool, I think. So here's Clark getting off of the school bus, and he gets to see his teacher. And there she is. And look at the name of the school that he goes to. We all go to Mimosa Elementary School. He goes to Theodore Roosterfish Elementary. It's a pretty interesting name, I think. In all the wild blue seas, in all the wide blue world, the top school for fish was Theodore Roosterfish Elementary. And of all of the fish at Theodore Roosterfish, the biggest and strongest was Clark the Shark. Here he is right here. Look at his teacher. She probably looks a lot different than I do. Don't you agree? Clark loved school, and he loved his teacher, Miss Inky Dink. He loved to play upsy-downsy and spin-a-ma-jig with his friends. Clark loved life. School is awesome, shouted Clark the Shark. Less shouting, more reading, said Mrs. Inky Dink. Lunchtime is sweet, yelled Clark the Shark. Munch on your own lunch, said his best friend Joey Mackerel. Recess rocks, bellowed Clark the Shark. You are playing rough, Clark, cried the other kids. So he's being a little bit too much. So he's a lot bigger than they are, so sometimes when you play a little bit rough, it can, hurt the people that are a little bit smaller than you. Yes, Clark loved his life with all of his sharky heart. But he loved everything way too much. He was too loud. He was too wild. He was just too much shark for the other fish to handle. After a while, no one would play with Clark. No one ate lunch with him. No one sat with him in a circle. Even his best friend, Joey Mackerel, said, "Cool your jets, Clark. You're making me crazy." If you look over here, Clark does not look very happy at all. He looks very sad. So his behavior is making a lot of his friends not really want to hang out with him. One day, Clark asked Miss Inky Dink, his teacher, just like me, "What is wrong with everyone?" Mrs. Inky Dink patted him on his fin, kind of like patting you on your shoulder or your arm. "Clark, sometimes You play too hard, you munch too hard, and gosh, you even help too hard. But life is so exciting, said Clark. And his teacher said to him, there is a time and a place for everything, said Mrs. Inky-Dink. And sometimes the rule is to stay cool. Just like it says right here, stay cool. At recess, Clark tried to stay cool, but he pushed the swing with way too much zing. Sorry, said Clark. I forgot. Yikes, cried his friend, Joey Mackerel. You see right here, he's like flying through the air. Probably about to like fly right off the swing. At lunch, Clark tried to stay cool. Everything smelled so good that he munched a bunch of lunches. Sorry, said Clark, I forgot. We're starving, said his friends. And if you look at this picture, he is eating all of his friends' lunches. And he's not doing it on purpose. He just can't remember that he shouldn't be doing that. In class, Clark tried to stay cool, but a good book got him all shook up. He got really excited. Now, Clark, said Mrs. Inky-Dink, excuse me, that's a hard word to say. This isn't the time or place. Tell me, what's the rule? What is the rule? Stay cool, said Clark. Hey, that rhymes, he cried. Then Clark got a big idea in his sharky head. Maybe if I make a rhyme, I'll remember every time, he thought. And then the next day, he put his plan to work. Take a second. Do you think it's going to work? I guess we're going to find out. In class, when lessons got exciting, Clark wanted to bounce up and out of his seat. Instead, he told himself, when teacher's talking, don't go walking. So if the teacher's telling you to do something or you're listening, you're not getting up and going around and like getting out of your seat. So Miss Inky-Dink is teaching a science lesson, and look at Clark. He's just hanging out there, just paying attention. And what do you know? It worked. Attaboy, Clark, said Mrs. Inky-Dink. Clark smiled. Lessons are fun. All right, here's Clark over here with Joey Mackerel. If you notice, they're eating lunch together. And if you look a little bit closer, you'll see that Clark is eating his lunch. Joey Mackerel is eating his lunch, and Clark is not eating all of Joey's food, which I bet Joey truly appreciates. At lunch, everything smelled so yummy. When Clark wanted to eat and never stop, he told himself, only munch on your own lunch. And it worked again. Way to go, Clark, said his friends. Clark grinned and he said, lunch is fun. I bet he really liked that because everybody was cheering him on. All right, here's Clark on a seesaw. I don't know if you've ever been on a seesaw before, but you need to have somebody that's kind of the same weight on the other side. And these guys are definitely not heavy enough. At playtime, Clark told himself, easy does it. That's the way. Then my friends will let me play. And playtime was fun. Once more, Clark loved his life again. Maybe because he's making better choices. Check out this character. I want you to look at it for a second and think about what would be like your first impression. What does this character mean to you? Well, let's see what Clark and his friends thought the character meant. But then a shadow fell across the playground. A ginormous shadow with tentacles galore. It's a new kid, and he looks scary, cried Joey Mackerel. Swim for your lives. The squid squashed the slide, and it snapped off the swings. Oops, my bad, said the new kid. Uh-oh, Joey's running for his life. Even Clark looks a little bit scared. Wait, said Clark. He just wants to play. Let's find a way. And he swam at the new kid with all of his might. So he's as strong and as fast as he could. Clark played harder than he had ever before. Upsy-downsy and spin-a-majig. He even made up a new game. Tail Wump Olympus. Sounds kind of fun. Wow! That was fun, said the new kid breathlessly. So he's like all out of breath because he was playing so hard. And he settled down. If you want to come to school, you've got to stay cool, said Clark. You look pretty cool to me. I hope they do to you as well. That's right, Clark, said Mrs. Inkydink. And thanks for taking care of our new classmate, Sid the Squid. They look like they've become pretty good friends. I hope that you see that as well. Hooray for Clark the Shark! Everyone cheered. I bet Sid the Squid is like very excited that he has a new friend. Clark is on the school bus going home. And here is his mama. That night, Clark's mother asked, "What did you learn at school, dear?" "There's a time and a place for everything," Clark said. "Sometimes you stay cool." But sometimes a shark's got to do what a shark's got to do. I think with this story, Clark ended up being a really, really good friend. And he had to like learn his lessons on how to like tone it back a little bit, which I think we all have to do. But I hope you enjoyed this story, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.